Been created in American history that saved black people. There's no drug that's ever been created in American history to save black people. You have to understand eugenics. Our whole existence in America after slavery has been about eugenics. What does the word mean? Good stock. Eugenics. The selective breeding of white people and the selective extermination of black people. In the news right now, you're being told that Hispanics are becoming the fastest growing minority group in the United States. It's predicted that by 2015-2020, there will be more Hispanics in this country than there are people of any other racial group. But let's back up for a minute. Remember, the definition of power is the ability to create a definition and make the victims accept it.
That's right.
So when they tell you that the Hispanics are about to take over America, we have to then do what? Research the definition of what a Hispanic is and where it came from. What a Hispanic is and where it came from. Hispanic is a term created by the United States government in 1970 to be included in the census report as a strategy to confuse black people and allow Africans who spoke Spanish who did not want to be black. Let me say that again. To allow Africans who spoke Spanish who did not want to be black an opportunity not to identify with their other racial kindred. Are you following me? What is genetically different from a Puerto Rican and anybody in this room? What is genetically different between a Cuban and anybody in this room? Very little. The only difference is that certain slave masters dropped us off in the Caribbean and taught us Spanish. And certain slave masters dropped us off in the 13 colonies and taught us English. There's so-called Hispanics darker than anybody in this room. And there's African people lighter than any Hispanic. It is all one people. So the next time you pick up Newsweek, and the next time you pick up Time magazine, and you see a front cover story about Hispanics taking over, I want you to know that that's nothing more than a code word to let white people know that black people are taking over America. Important that you understand that. Be careful of the words that you allow people to use to create your reality. A Hispanic is a Spanish-speaking African who would rather choose to identify with another label. That's all it is. If you dig your family tree, everybody in here got some Hispanic. My great-grandfather was a Spanish-speaking Cuban. Clearly could pass for Hispanic. Maybe he did. I don't know. So there's no clear division because we're all one people. When you study the history of the Marcus Garvey movement, you find what? That the state of Louisiana was the most thoroughly organized Marcus Garvey state, and Cuba and Puerto Rico. Cuba and Puerto Rico were the most thoroughly organized Garvey Islands in the whole Caribbean. More chapters, more red, black, and green flags in Cuba and Puerto Rico than any other place. So how is it that you're no longer African and you're a Hispanic now? But the problem is what? Because a lot of us don't want to be black. Because a lot of us don't want to be black. The government is confusing our racial identity and coming up with a new label every 10 years to let self-hating Negroes slide out of the group. In the year 2000, they gave you biracial. So any black person who had a little bit of white blood didn't have to check the African American box no more. You can check the box.